Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Now, if you're coming straight from part 1 of this video, then I'm going to be continuing from the 6th round and I'll be showing you the stitch pattern for that. If you're new here, then I'm going to go ahead and link part 1 of this video in the cards above. And if you're an extreme beginner and you need to see this tutorial in a bit more detail, then I'll leave my first crochet tutorial on making an oval with this same pattern with the first 3 rounds in the cards above as well as in the description box below, so that you'll be able to follow along. Now once you're done with the first 5 rounds, then you can just go ahead and come back to this video to continue. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rounds already completed. Okay, now we're going to start by chaining 2. 1, 2. And then we're going to go ahead and place our marker on that second chain there. And if you've been following along, then you'll know that this is the stitch that we use to mark where the round starts. Now in the previous round, the pattern was 2 double crochets in the first stitch, and then 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, and then 2 double crochets, then 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, 2 double crochets, 1, 1, 1. So in the next round, we'll be adding a stitch. So instead of there being 1, 2, 3 double crochets, there's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. Now in the previous round, we started with the double crochet in the first stitch, but in this round, we're going to be starting with 1 double crochet. So it's going to be 1, 1, 1, 1, and then in this stitch, we're going to be doing 2 double crochets. One, 1, 1, and then right here we're going to do 2 double crochets. So 1 in that stitch and then 1 more in the same stitch. And then we're just going to go ahead and repeat this pattern 2 more times, the same way that we've done in previous rounds. So 1, and then 2 double crochets in this stitch. Then 1, 1, 1, and then in the last stitch we're going to do 2 double crochets. And you can just go ahead and take your marker from the round here and place it here so that you'll know where the stitch pattern ended. And I'm still going to be keeping my 25 stitch count in the middle here before we continue the pattern on this side. So 1, 2, 3, and you're going to continue 1 single crochet in each of the next 22 stitches until we're here. So we've gone ahead and done the 25 double crochets going up here, and now we're going to go ahead and continue the stitch pattern that we started up here on this side of the oval. So we're going to be doing 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, and then 2 double crochets in this stitch, the same way like we did on the other end. So let's start. And then 2 in this stitch, and then let's repeat the pattern. 1, 1, 1, 1, and then 2 in this stitch. 1, 2. All right, so we've completed 2 sets of the stitch pattern, and you can see it here where we started with this stitch. And if you haven't done so yet, you can just go ahead and remove your marker and place it on the first stitch there. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 2. So we've done 2 sets, and we should have 6 sets in total. So go ahead and repeat this pattern 4 more times, and I'll see you when we're right here. Completed the pattern on this end, and you can see it here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then in this stitch we have 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 2 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 2 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 2 here, and in the last set, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 2. So ensure that you have 6 sets on this end, and then go ahead and do your 25 double crochets in each of the next stitches, and then repeat the pattern here as well, and I'll meet you back here to close out the round. So I've completed the pattern going all around. So we'll have 25 double crochets between both the stitch markers here, and then I went ahead and completed the stitch pattern that we did on this side as well as to the bottom. So where we have our marker is where the pattern would have begun. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, then 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, then 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, and in the last stitch we have 2. So I'm just going to go ahead and demonstrate how to close out the round, and if you've seen part 1 of this video, then you should be familiar with this technique. So go ahead and remove the stitch marker where we had our 2 chain stitches to start. Then you're just going to go ahead and flip that to the back. Insert it into the first stitch and then do a slip stitch to close. Now once you've completed that, go ahead and do 2 chain stitches to start the next round, and then you're going to place the marker on the second chain. Now going forward, I'll only be demonstrating the first 3 sets so that you'll be aware of what the stitch pattern is for each of the next rounds. And then you can just go ahead and complete that at the bottom here, as well as the last 3 sets from here. And once you go ahead and place your stitch markers on the stitches where the pattern starts and where it ends, then you should be fine in terms of keeping count. Now in the previous round, we did 1, 1, 1, 1, and then 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, and then 2. That was the stitch pattern. And in the next round, we'll be adding a stitch. So it will be 5 double crochets and then 2 double crochets in one stitch, 5 and then 2. But instead of starting with the 5 double crochets, we're going to start with 2 double crochets in the first stitch. So 1, 2, and then 1 double crochet in the next 5 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then in the stitch beside that we're going to do 2 double crochets. So 1, 2, and then we're going to complete 1 double crochet in each of the next 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2 in this stitch, 1, 2, and then 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and in the last stitch, which is here, we're gonna do our 5th double crochet. Now go ahead and take the marker and place it on the last stitch here to keep the count. And then go ahead and complete it as we've been doing in previous rounds. Do 25 double crochets in the middle, complete the stitch pattern on this end, and you're going to do that 6 times. 25 double crochets in the middle here, and then complete the stitch pattern 3 more times. Close out the round as you see me did previously, and then I'll meet you back here to show you the pattern for the next round. So we're going to start with our regular 2 chain stitches, and then we're going to place the marker on the second chain stitch. Now, if you've been following this pattern from part 1 of this video, then you'll notice that there is a particular way that we start each round. So in each round we add a stitch, but depending on which round you're in, you'll start with 2 double crochets in the stitch, or you'll start with 1 double crochet, counting from that one. So in the previous round, you see where we started with 2 double crochets in the stitch, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In the round before that, we started with 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 2 double crochets. And in the row before that, we started with 2 double crochets in the stitch, and then 1, 2, 3. And then in the row before that, we started with 1, 2, and then 2 double crochets in one stitch. So that's pretty much the pattern that we'll be using going forward to increase on each rounds. You're gonna alternate between starting with 2 double crochets in the first stitch or starting with 1 double crochet in the first stitch. So you're gonna do that back and forth for as many rounds as you'd like to do to make the oval as large as you'd like to make it. So as it relates to the pattern, you'll see that we've been adding an additional stitch in each round. So in the last round, we had 2 double crochets in one stitch plus 5, 2 double crochets in one stitch plus 4, 2 double crochets in one stitch plus 3, and so on. So what that means is that in the next round, we'll be doing 6 double crochets and then 2 in one stitch. And then in the other round, we're going to do 2 double crochets and then 7 double crochets beside that. So we're going to keep alternating to make the oval larger. So let me just demonstrate this round. So we're going to do 1 here, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, and then 2 here. So you see it? We have 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, and then 2. And we're going to repeat this 2 more times until we're here. 1, 1, 1, and in this stitch we're going to do 2. And for the last set, we're going to do the same thing. and then 2 in the last stitch. So you'll see that we've done 6 double crochets and then 2 in 1 stitch, 6, then 2 in 1, 6, and then 2 in 1. And that's pretty much the set that we're also going to complete at the bottom as well as to the top here. And always remember to remove your marker and place it on the last stitch so that you won't get confused by where the stitch should start and where it ends. Now using this stitch pattern, you can go ahead and make your oval as large as you would like to. So I've gone ahead and completed 14 rounds using the pattern that I just showed you. Now you can go ahead and make your oval using as many rounds as you'd like, but I'm just going to show you how to finish it off. Now go ahead and close out the round as you normally would. But this time, instead of doing chain stitches, we're going to be doing slip stitches going all the way around. So in this stitch, insert your hook, pull through a loop, and pull it through the loop already on the hook. And we're pretty much going to do that going all around. And you can go ahead and place your marker back on the first slip stitch here. Now continue doing slip stitches until you're right here. Now once you've gone ahead and done your slip stitches, it should look something like this. And once you're at the last stitch, go ahead and cut your yarn. Now once you've cut your yarn, go ahead and pull it through. And then use your crochet needle. And you're just going to push the yarn through. Now also remove your marker. Now go ahead and push the crochet needle through the first stitch here. And then also push it through the last stitch. Now push the needle through the stitches in the back to secure it. And then go ahead and cut your yarn. So this is the final look. Please remember to subscribe to my channel and let me know, of course, if you have any questions at all in the comment section, and I'll be sure to get back to you. Thanks for watching. Bye guys.